Okay, well today it's a base station. Now this is the President KP77, and I'm sure that these have got to be even worse than the Atron conversion, because this is what they were. They were a conversion from a 22 channel half watt Dutch set into a UK 2781. An approved conversion. It has come with a microphone. This is one of my personal purchases off eBay. We do have a circuit diagram, and well, I can't say that I've seen one ever work properly, so I think it's probably money down the drain, but we'll see if we can get anything out of it. Let's see what happens when I switch it on. Oh, well, it's lit up. It looks like it transmits, and we'll see whether it receives. And the answer, yes, it does receive. Well, I've never seen one work before. So if it transmits on channel 1, well, it does. And on channel 40, well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. If you're ever offered a KP77, don't confuse it with a Uniden 300 base station or an Audioline base station 345. It isn't the same baby. It's the same box, but it's a converted 22 channel Dutch chassis, and I'm going to open it up and we'll come up with some tune-up arrangement with you. Okay, having taken the lid off the first President KP77 I've ever seen working, I've even seen one with different innards in, and I'm not surprised. The first thing I've just checked is that the power supply is giving something like 13.8 volts. The power supply preset there is variable resistor 201. This is giving 13.7, and that seems to me to be what we're looking for. I'm just going to check whether that alters dramatically in transmit. 13.5, so it's not too scary. The things to be aware of: these were made for the European market, and clearly they were unsold, so loads of them got converted into these UK sets. So they probably go back to 1978 or 79 vintage. I don't know what the rules are now in Europe, but I would think I hope they're in line with Europe. One of the snags is it's 220 volts. Well, at the time we were 240 volts here, but now in line, Europe and us, the rest of Europe and us, are now 230 volts. These transformers are 220, so you're a few percentage over the top with the voltage. The other thing is, if I zoom in on this is absolutely disgraceful. The wiring to the transformer at the primary end here is unshrouded. Now, if this came in for repair from a customer, then I would put some heat shrink tubing on there. Furthermore, the power goes down to the on and off switch down there, and it switches the live only. It's a single pole switch, or normally the power supplies are left running all the time and you just switch on the DC. So you've got mains onto the on-off volume control there, which you don't normally have on UK sets. So the other thing is, you've got these conversion bits. They've removed the phase lock loop chip. They've fitted a subboard with an LC7137. Because they were originally built as half watt sets, there's a subboard which is driving a Mitsubishi 2SC2166 output transistor to bring that power up. So it's using the original output stage as a driver for that, which is fair enough. And then, of course, they were 22 channel, and in line with also having that subboard, which I've pointed out with the LC7137, they've got a fiberglass subboard here with the 40 channel selector switch on. So I mean, they're a bit of a bodge, aren't they? So I've not seen one work before, so this is kind of, I'm quite pleased, especially as I say, it was an eBay purchase for me. I think I paid £15 for it, and then a fortune for postage. Right, what we're going to do is we'll start with transmit as usual. I can't do the VCA because we don't have the information. The circuit diagram I have is certainly helpful, but it's a third generation photocopy, so there isn't all the detail that I would normally expect. What we're going to do is start with, I believe, this is the only dubious one, I believe L19 is on the transmit side of things. There's no low power switch on these, so we're always on 4 watts. So I'm going into transmit now, and it's doing 3.2 watts on this test set. I'm not going to twiddle that too much. That is the only dubious one, and we'll go now for L15. Well, that's brought it up to 3.5. And I think that's where we're going to be. As I've said many times before, 3.5 watts on this test set probably equates to about 5 good buddy watts, so I'm not unduly bothered about that, that's fine. So, frequency. Well, it should be, we're on channel 20, so we should be on 27.79125. It's 27.79113, so it's dropped slightly. You can't adjust these, the circuit doesn't have any trimmer for that. That's well within specification, so that's it. But we have just checked it, because the alternative would be to either add a capacitor into the circuit to try and pull the crystal, or to change the crystal, but that's fine, that's within what we expect. Now the power meter on the front of the set, what's that reading? It's this where I need the magnifying glass. I want it to be in the middle of the red zone, and it's to one side of the red zone. The RF power meter is preset VR3, which should be that one just there. That's brought that spot into the middle of the red zone, and so next we need to move on to the deviation. Testing 1 2 Wallow. Now where are we? I'm not sure whether we've got a duff mic here. Put the oscillator on. That's reading 1.8, so we'll bring that up to 2.5. The deviation control is VR4. I think we do have a faulty microphone. Wallow. 1 2 1 2. Right, well, pause the video and sort the microphone out. Okay, having sorted the microphone out, it was a matter of cleaning the switch inside the microphone with the handy Servisol spray that we use. And I've redressed the lead because it was not going through the... there's mouldings inside here as a strain relief, so that's now dressed properly through there and not going to pull out. So it's nice to have the original mic, especially when these are 30 years old. So that covers it. We're all working. The deviation is just over 2. I would like it to be a little tiny bit more, but that's how it is. That's on full. And with the Wallow test, it does just peak. You can make it peak at 2.5. Putting on the monitor receiver, testing 1 2 1 2 3. That sounds absolutely fine. So we'll see whether we can. It sounds like the receiver's working. We'll see if we can tune up the receiver, and I'll join you on the next video on doing just that.